Okay, we're going to start in Illustrator and we're going to make a new document, and it has to be a square. The unit should be inches, and we're going to make it 3 inches by 3 inches, and we're going to call it Bling. We want a simple name because in Bryce they want it to be as simple as possible. It needs to be a square because we're going to make something that will go into the terrain menu. I'm going to click the T for type tool, and I'm just going to click once. I'm not going to click and drag and make a text box. And I'm going to type my name. Then I'm going to select it just like I would in Microsoft Word. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose a font that I think will look good as a medallion for my Bling in 3D in Bryce. So I'm going to choose Broadway, but you can scroll down and choose all sorts of things. Then I'm going to change just the regular selection tool, and I'm going to make this as big as I can make it in this box without stretching and skewing my design, like this. So this will turn out really nicely. I want it to be solid black and white. I don't want any colors. I want it to be a very white background, and I want it to be very black letters because I'm going to take it into the terrain menu, and it will read as elevation depending on the value. Now I'm going to save it. I'm going to save for web because I need it to be saved as a JPEG. So I'm going to go File, Save for Web. I'm going to change this to a JPEG document. I'm going to click Save. I'm going to navigate. You're going to put it on your flash drive. I'm going to put it on the desktop. I'm going to save. Okay, we're done with Illustrator. Now we're going to go into Bryce. In Bryce, what I want to do is make a symmetrical lattice. Then I'm going to click E to edit the terrain. It needs to be the symmetrical lattice that looks like a spinning top so that it's the same on the top and the bottom. I'm going to click E. Then I'm going to click New in my Editing Tools window. I'm going to click New, and down here I'm going to click the dot for picture. I don't want these pictures over here. We're not going to mess with those right now. I just want this picture, and I'm going to load that JPEG called Bling that I just saved to my desktop. And open. Alright, here it is in my 3D preview, but it is inverted. So right now I have a maroon background, that means it's blank, where my name is, and I have this white block where my name is not. So I'm going to click Invert on the Invert button. Alright, now I'm going to check it off down here. It is there, but it is on its side, and it needs to be squished flat. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that it is squished flat. I'm going to find this little dot on top that when I hover over it, it has a Y right next to the cursor. And I'm going to click and move my mouse to the left. So click, drag to the left. Everything in Bryce is click, drag, left and right. Nothing just drag up and down. It's always click and drag left and right. Then I'm going to go to the Edit menu, and I'm going to raise this up by clicking on the Y axis and moving my mouse to the right. Then I'm going to view it from the top. So I'm going to go here where I change my views, go to the top. I can see my name. I can zoom in a little bit by clicking on the magnifying glasses on the side. It's just cut out of your window in this movie. So I can see my name, but I need to rotate it. I'm going to rotate it along the X axis. So I'm going to highlight the X, hover over the X axis on the rotate menu, and then click and move my mouse to the left. That will actually move it backward. Move it to the right. And I can see it lines back up, straight up and down when it's all over on top of itself neatly like this. Then I'm going to go back to the director's view, and I have my name, and I can see it. Now I'm going to make the chain that goes with this. So if I rotate my name like this, I'll be able to see it better. Now I'm going to make the chain. The chain is made out of torus booleans. So I'm going to check the torus boolean. I'm going to click on the corners and drag in to make these really small. Then I'm going to view this from the top. Well, first I'll change the material. The materials, I want to use a gold material or something that's precious so it looks really super shiny and blingy. So I'm going to go down to architectural in the menu options. I'm going to choose metals. There is precious metals, and I kind of like the brass corroded, so I'm going to use that one, but you can pick any of these that you like. Check it off again. there's my material. I can give that same material to my name. Remember, this is the menu. I choose corroded brass, check it off, check it off. Now I'm going to go back to that torus, and I'm going to view it from the top. I need to line this up so that it's next to either side of my name and rotate it. So I'm going to rotate it along the y-axis to spin it to fit the same angle as my name. And then I'm going to copy it. Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste. Put one over there. Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste. Okay? Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste. I'm going to put 3 on each side. Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste. Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste. Okay, so now I'm going to look at this from another angle because all of these toruses are on the ground and we can't tell that from the top. So I'm going to go from the right and I can see that they are on the ground. I'll zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to select my toruses and I'm just going to raise them up on the y-axis so that they make sense. Just click on the y-axis, move my mouse to the right. You can do this as a group, but I kind of want to do them individually, one-on-one. Click on the torus, click on the y-axis, move my mouse to the right. Click on the torus, click on the y-axis for reposition, and move my mouse to the right. Makes it go up, left makes it go down. Okay? If I want these to interlock a little bit, all I have to do is move them a little bit closer together and rotate the middle one on the y-axis so that it's at an angle, and then maybe rotate it on the x-axis so that they go closer together and have them overlap a little bit. So again, I'm going to rotate it on the y-axis and then rotate it on the x-axis until it looks like it's interlocking a little bit. Move them closer together, and then I can have a chain that looks like it's interlocking. So if I render this, I've got my name with the chain that appears to be mostly interlocking. Looks a little bit better on this side. The render bar is going to go down to show that it's rendering. You don't want to save your image until it's totally finished with the render bar going down the screen because it won't be a really clear image. So once it's done, I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Save As to save my file in a minute. But to turn it in, I'm going to just save Image As. It needs to be saved the same way you're always going to save your stuff in this class. Your last name, underscore, your first initial, underscore, bling. It is going to be a JPEG. You are going to save it and make sure that it goes on your flash drive. I'm just going to put this on the desktop for my demo. I'm going to turn it into the server folder. Now, something kind of cool you can do if you want to save this and not have to redo it. You can select everything, group it together by hitting G. Now remember, every time you group something, you have to make it positive. So you go to Attributes and you check positive and check it off. Okay? Now that this is all selected, there's a little menu next to the Create. Okay? And there's a bunch of preset stuff in here that you're not going to get credit for using. So go to Installed, go to User, and I'm going to add my preset Bling. So I could have it be Bling, would be the name of it, and check it off, and then here it is. I'm going to go back to my director's view so I can see what this looks like. And then from my director's view, it actually looks like this isn't touching here. So I could ungroup this and I could make it fit a little bit better. And render and save. And that is the Bryce Bling.